Welcome back to In the Oven with Adam and Brad.
What's up, y'all?
When you clean your glasses, it makes you look smarter, you know?
Yeah, I try. That's the only thing I got going, baby. Just clean them.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. You know, family got together, whatever. Good time. It's just, yeah, you know.
Did y'all eat early or late?
Late.
So,
I'm not a fan.
So yeah, this was my first time eating early. Well, I wouldn't say first time. I probably have eaten early before, but this is like one of the times I actually remember eating early, and I like it so much better than late eating.
Yeah.
I remember like going to people's houses, and the meal for Thanksgiving wasn't going to be served until like 4 o'clock, and you're at their house at like noon.
Yeah.
And then you're not really eating anything, so then you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to eat this cheese tray.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat these crackers. I'm going to eat this dip.
That's what happened to me. That's what happened. We got over there. Well, we got up. Actually, it was a really good day.
You did your turkey trot?
Yeah, we did turkey trots, a bunch of family stuff,
quit
hanging out.
downplaying your Thanksgiving.
But then after that, you know, there's that like long period of like, what do I do? What do I eat? How do I eat? You know? And like, sitting around the house, I'm like, well, I don't know. What do I eat? Steak? I got leftovers, you know?
Yeah.
But so, yeah, we didn't even go over to, we went to Kirsty's aunt's house, who was kind of like, not really taking over a tradition from her grandmother, but her grandmother passed away last year, and her aunt moved into the grandmother's house, and so she had us over there and whatever. So it was a nice time. Family all got together, all that good stuff. But yeah, I usually do more of the cooking. Kylie does more of the cooking. I think they come with a little more energy, bring a little more flair to it. So
yeah, we talked about this. I'm not just as anyone that is family or friends with Adam that watches this. Did you not take offense to this? Because this was an overarching discussion just on Thanksgiving food. And I said, wouldn't this be difficult if you went to a place that like wasn't good food? Because Aubrey brought up that one of her friends like literally texted her the day before, was like, I want to make some of my own stuff to take to this Thanksgiving because I hate the food so much. And I was like, man, we're actually really lucky. Aubrey's side of the family, a lot of people cook, really great cooks.
Yeah.
It's good food. My side of the family, I would say, is even more good cooks. Like everybody cooks really great food. We just like grew up in a family that has like, I've grown up my whole life not going out to eat that much. And you know, when Aubrey and I actually went on a date night last night, looking around, seeing a lot of families out, yeah. I said, man, there's families that eat out like every night.
Yep.
And we don't. We eat at home. Like,
yeah.
In fact, if we don't go on a date night, we don't eat out pretty much, you know? And so I think those people like maybe don't have a lot as much experience cooking and things.
Yeah, folks that don't force themselves to learn how to cook. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm fortunate that I at some point learned how to cook. Forced myself to learn. Not really sure.
Well, yeah. When did it happen for you?
I was pretty young. You know, truthfully, my mom got me a Martha Stewart cookbook. Funny that we talked about Martha Stewart on the last one, but I still have the cookbook. It's still great. It simplifies everything.
You should try to get it signed.
I should try to get it signed. But, you know, not that I'm some...
We're going to start stalking Martha Stewart's visit.
Gonna have to. But, no, so I would say I kind of got into it when I was in the Army a little bit because I didn't have no money, you know? But then you're working with like barracksy stuff and like hot plates and like random stuff. You kind of get that. Then I would say, you know, just life in general, you know, trying to eat healthier, trying to make better, healthier options. Fitness, I think, played a part. I'm sure you did too.
Yeah. I was trying to think for me, I think I dabbled in cooking with like, because we all cooked. My mom would cook. I would help things, right? I think it always starts as like you're this helper. I remember going to like my granny's house when I was younger, and she was like making cinnamon rolls from scratch and like doing some of that stuff. And then for me though, I think it really was, you know, obviously similar time frame when I was in college, saving money. I would remember going to Costco, buying like big bags of pasta and rice and chicken. And I literally all I made was like chicken and rice or pasta and rice. It wasn't like grand food. And when I say that, like there's people out there that like, you don't have to like dice up all these, you know, spices and herbs and like cook, you know, all these meals where you sweat down this stuff and like deglaze pans. Like you don't have to do that for like normal day-to-day cooking. I mean, obviously
there's levels, levels, and there's prepped ahead for you at all levels. Right. Yeah, for sure. Man, I just learned to cook over time. I like, I know you do too. We've talked about it, feeding people and just kind of like a love language. And I've done it with my wife. I remember we were dating a long, long time ago. Like one of the first meals I probably ever cooked for her. I made this kind of lemony pasta Italian dish. It was like a take on piccata. Dude, everything that could have went wrong. I had this like pepper grinder and I went to crack it and the whole thing just exploded. So like peppers went like the whole peppercorns went
Yeah.
Oh, it's a mess. But it's a great memory now.
How long ago was that?
Yeah, 15 years ago.
And you still remember it, though.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. It's great memory. I remember everything about it. And
one of Aubrey's favorite meals, which I don't know if it still is, but it was mussels, like in a white wine sauce, And I remember the first time I tried to do that.
Yeah.
The wine was not cooked down very much.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I did cook it down,
sure.
but not as much as it needed to be cooked down. And I remember being like, ooh, this is white wine sauce for sure, And, but I think it's like one of those things that like, you don't get comfortable doing that stuff unless you do it, and you're going to mess up. And that's just part of the process. Like, do you want to mess up now or do you want to mess up later? Because you're going to mess up. So you might as well just start messing up now and then get better at it,
Man, I had a friend take me out that came into town, visit me when I was in Savannah. And we went to this restaurant, and it had like one of those fancy where they pour the liquor on your steak and light it on fire. Okay? And I never experienced this before. And I did not know until like years later. Apparently, all the liquor didn't cook off my steak. I don't know why I'm thinking other than to say this story.
Well, because about my white wine not cooking off. Yeah.
So it not cooking. Yeah, there you go. So I went to bite into the steak. It was disgusting. And supposedly, it's just like one of the best steaks in the area. Blah blah blah. They were like, "Yeah, isn't this so good?" And I was just like, "Yeah, this is good." But I was eating like bourbon juice steak or whatever instead of like it cooked off. So it burned, it flashed up. But I don't know if the steak was too wet or what was happening, but it was still just alcohol. And I was like, I didn't send it back. I ate that whole steak too, but it was disgusting.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you need to take a slice of this. Is this what it's supposed to taste like? I just want to make sure that like we're eating what it's supposed to. One way to get your protein in with your drinking, right? Yeah. But no, back to Thanksgiving. I like the earlier meal times because I don't end up like snacking nearly as much. I still snacked a little bit, but I like knew the meal was coming soon. Yep. So didn't overindulge. And then I like it because I like watch a little bit of football, eat that food, get to go boxes, go home and nap.
Yep. Nap.
Because when you nap,
time to enjoy like a dessert, you actually want it instead of forcing it down.
You eat a 4:00 meal, you get done at 5:30. If you nap, it's bedtime.
Yeah.
You napped into
Which
bedtime.
Is what happened. Yeah, we were there. It was 6:00, and it was like, I have to go home now because any later, and I'm going to be sleeping here for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. So, rough one for you.
Yeah, I didn't get to hang out too much, but all in all, good time. Always good to get family together, and, all the kids got to see each other.
Any Black Friday through Cyber Monday purchases?
Not really, no, dude. No deals. I saw no deals. Did you see deals?
I bought some socks.
Oh, I had a boy.
Just running socks.
Okay.
They really weren't that big of a deal, but I was like, I needed a new pair, so I'm going to do it anyways. It was kind of like one of the, like when you were talking about, we were talking before this a little bit about the deals and stuff, and you were like, it's $1.90 cheaper. Like, do I really need to do this?
Right.
So my thing was like, it's $1.90 cheaper, and I do need this, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger because eventually I have to buy this. Whereas usually there's certain things I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to buy this because it's so cheap. I can't imagine I wouldn't get the use out of it, but I didn't feel like I found that this much this year. And also maybe I'm in a different season of my life. Or
I found that I like to make purchases for dopamine, and just like on whims and stuff. And so like, no, I'm just kidding. But like, as far as the flash sale purchases go, I gotta want it or feel like I need it or whatever. And just, we got the kids some stuff, but like, we talked about it. We kind of just live in like a sales economy, dude. The whole landscape is sales, and the flash sale, and it's also all hyped beyond like any reason to where you like go like, oh man, best sell ever, click, and you're like, I feel like it was cheaper last week.
Yeah.
Or like at least the same price.
Now we can track that stuff.
Yeah.
I got an email from Sam's Club like Black Friday sales. Check out this robot vacuum, and it was like $500 vacuum on sale for $200. So like that's a big sale. I mean, that's 60% off.
Whoa.
You see that slash line in there, you're like, oh damn. So I click on it, read some reviews. do the price tracker on it, and essentially it's been this price, cheaper or slightly more expensive, but essentially in this ballpark for the last 6 months. Yep. So I looked at it and I was like, well, I don't need this now. I can get it for the same price in 6 months from now if I decide I really want it.
It incentivizes also people to go like, let's see if it changes price tomorrow. Let's see if Cyber Tuesday is a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, well, that's my favorite thing too, is that like this sale is going to end today, and we're on Tuesday now when we're recording this, guys, and like Cyber Monday ended yesterday, and I'm still getting emails. It extended one day, and it's just that the economy we live in now is just like it's chasing money more than I feel like I've ever.
We got a website too. We know the economy's hurting this year, but we're working to fix that. Y'all keep working too. We're not extending Cyber Tuesday.
Yeah, it was over.
It's over.
Yeah,
you get your packs full price.
But I do feel like it has calmed down to some aspect of like used to Black Friday sales. I feel like last year it got really bad where they were literally November 1st. They started and they were running like all month. This year, I feel like it went back to like more of a normal situation where they started before Black Friday, but they weren't atrocious. Right. But I mean, I remember, like I told you when we were kids, before this Cyber Monday stuff really even existed, like Black Friday, it was only on Black Friday. Yep. It was a limited amount. Like it was so cheap they couldn't do it. Yep. I mean, that's the real thing. It used to be so cheap that like we can only offer this to 20 people. Yeah. Like it's so cheap. This store can only do this.
We're losing money.
Yeah, we're losing money. But we want to get you in here because we think you're going to buy other shit. Yeah. But this TV is literally $50 and you may have to kill someone. But it's $50. And that just doesn't exist anymore because now they're like, no, we want everyone to buy at this low price, but it's not actually going to be cheaper because we still need to make really great margins. And
yeah, it's tough. Well, when you get people into the store physically, like you get them into your Office Depot or some otherwise struggling store, and like you need those Q4 revenue pops for shareholders and for whatever else reason you need. You can zhuzh maybe even some revenue numbers. I mean, there's some sketchy stuff these companies do, like to kind of float COGS into next year, whatever you got to do to make your numbers work. But like when you're on the internet, you don't really have that. You have to spend all your money going like, click here, click. And then the barrier of entry is like, click, just whatever. Take me to a different website, just whatever it is. And so it's so low, I don't have to get back in my car. I don't have to anything.
Well, and like now you can take a screenshot of shit.
Oh, no.
Google search it and be like, was that even the cheapest price? Nope. Yeah, this other website's selling it for 5 cents cheaper. Yeah. And since there is no barrier of me having to drive across town to get it for 5 cents cheaper, I'm going to just go to this website, buy it for 5 cents cheaper.
Care of it for you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait, discount codes? Yeah, apply all these discount codes and let me know when one clicks in. Right, man. It's like, it's a different world out there. But speaking of being used and abused, were you... This is my my lawyer commercial. Were you a victim to Pokemon Go training AI?
No, but this is such a cool story. This is such a cool story.
I will tell you, I did have Pokemon Go.
Okay.
I played it like a couple of times around my office, like at work. Yep. But that was pretty much it. Yep. When you really delve into the story, which I hope it touches on it. Let's just see what it touches on. Let's see.
Pokemon Go players have unknowingly trained AI to navigate the world. Niantic, the company behind Pokemon Go, has revealed it is using data from its millions of players to train an AI model designed to navigate physical spaces. This large geospatial model, or LGM, works similarly to LLMs like ChatGPT, but focuses on the physical world. The AI can perceive, understand, and interact with real-world environments, a foundation for future technologies like AR glasses, robotics, and autonomous systems. The model is powered by geolocated images collected from players and its 3D scanning app. With over 10 million scanned locations and 1 million new scans added weekly, the dataset uniquely captures pedestrian-only areas inaccessible to cars. While the potential applications are vast, players...
Right, so the interesting point on a lot of this stuff is it's capturing data that Tesla and Google Maps are not. So it is in real time capturing street level data. I did not download Pokemon Go or play it, but I did have the gym at that time and trained several teenage age grouped kids. And we would use Pokemon Go in that thing all the time. I'd have them pull sleds and we'd go around and capture different Pokemon, and depending on which one it was or what type it was, they'd have different exercises that they could do. They freaking loved it. It was a ton of fun. Should have videoed it, should have whatever, social media and all that stuff. But no, it was a ton of fun. This is what separates the big dogs from the amateur folks.
So two things for this. One, to add on to what you said, this is what separates them, because not only did they get you to do this for free, they got you to pay them.
They made money.
They made money on it. So that's even the wilder part, is they launched a business, made you the worker bees, but because they entertained you through the process, very Black Mirror, then they got everything on it. So honestly,
beautiful.
I honestly think that this should be
S-tier.
I was going to say nominated for like one of the smartest business moves
S-tier.
ever. But another part is they would, if there was an area they really needed data on,
they put unique Pokemon
they would put
there.
unique Pokemon there. So what they were doing is they would incentivize more people to go to areas that they weren't going to just to get the.
So it came out, and I don't think this was one of the ones that hit the rumor mill, but it came out that like the makers were like leaking on like Reddit and wherever else they were leaking where these rare Pokemon were, right? Like they were doing it, but people were like, why would they do that? And then of course, the conspiracy, I don't think this came up, like that they were really a geo-mapping AI building, but AI was not around, man. No one was saying AI.
No. And
no one said AI back then.
Well, and I also don't think that people were thinking of geo-mapping, because I mean, this was 2015.
Yeah. I had heard about Tesla doing it, because I remember hearing how much.
Well, we were doing it on submarines for the ocean floor.
Well, I remember hearing how much more value Tesla had than any of the other car companies, and it was like, that makes no sense. And then you realize like it was a big tech play, and all the geomapping, the street data, and the blah blah blah, and the government bidding, and all that stuff. And you're like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, dude.
If anything, if you're a business person, this should just immediately get your wheels spinning about how do I, one, create a community around my, like an application that also is like a way for me to gather information. Because if this would have come out as like what they actually were, and, just play Pokemon Go, people would have never jumped on this. But they really crushed it. They did.
Dude, this is S-Class. This is, 23andMe.
Yeah, it's true. That's an S-Class.
How they were funded and who started them. And what
that was an
data
S-Class too, yeah.
Bro. Yeah, hey, pay us for this data. But we're going to get your lifestyle. We're going to get everything.
Everything about you, yeah.
And then just, hey, do a follow-up survey. I forget how many, trillions of follow-up surveys or whatever. People were just like, yeah, I want to keep contributing toward the database. People wanted to add to the Hive collection.
Would you know why though? Because they played it as this way of like finding your long lost relatives. Because I know that like I didn't contribute to this, but my sister at one point was like using the 23andMe or Ancestry.com or whatever to like map out our family lineage, and it was spending a lot of like energy towards it. So it's this whole play of like, you give us a little information, we can give you a lot of information, And it's just
imagine you take the play on it of like kind of that we did with that shot everybody was supposed to get. If you don't get it or you don't contribute towards it, you're evil.
Yeah.
Bad. They kind of weaponize it. Anyways, that company went under. It's going under. 23andMe.
Oh, is it?
Yep. No more. They got all their data.
Oh, and it's just over. They leave with their data, huh?
Who gets it?
I don't know. But I'm sure they sold it. As part of going away.
Sure they did.
Okay, is college a scam? Okay, let's see this.
Yes.
But if you guys want to be a millionaire, go become a carpenter. I mean, that's where the money is right now. Because we send all of our kids to just laptop class and not the muscular class. Again, if you want to be here, go ahead. It's just, Okay, I think you guys don't realize.
Question.
Once you're outside of college, you'll be like, oh my goodness, that was a waste of 4 years.
Okay, but question.
I'm telling you guys.
If everybody here went into carpentry.
Yes, which won't happen.
It won't, but that's what you're advising us to do. If we all went into carpentry.
You know why it won't happen? Because your parents won't treat you as well.
I come from a trade family. So
right. No, but I'm saying right now, how many of you guys, if you told your parents to become a plumber, they'd say, go back to college, you lost your mind? Yeah, everyone. The point being is that like your parents think that success is getting some stupid piece of paper when there's millions of dollars waiting for you to be made. Millions.
But is that college being dishonest? Is that...
Yes, of course. First of all, it's scamming you on the price. You guys are paying way too much money to be here. You're here for too long. You guys could get what you need in literally a year and a half.
Bro, the neurons firing, the difference between the two. Charlie Kirk, bro, if you're not ready to go get in an argument with that man, please do not. You're going to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
The kid looks so slow, and I'm sure he's just regular slow, but he looks so slow.
But, I mean, I've always said that there's this like long play of a lot of things, and it's like the colleges was this like, I mean, colleges have been around for hundreds of years. They've instilled this value of like what they bring to the table. And I think for majority of people, it doesn't bring anything to the table. I mean, obviously I have a college degree, but also I'm not utilizing my college degree. If I didn't have a college degree, my life would be the same, I guess. What I'm saying is like, I don't need an electrical engineering degree to make cookies. Obviously there's choices I've made that if I didn't have a college degree, those doors wouldn't have been open for me. So I couldn't say I'd be exactly here. You know what I mean? But
yeah. I would say, college is a great thing that has just, it's a bill of goods that's been sold to us that's just painted as always right, always the right option. It also says that everybody that's going to teach you is smarter than you. It uses a metric of saying that, like, no matter what college you go to, these people are actually good at anything that they're teaching you. The amount of businesses I've owned now and ran successfully and exited successfully, yet I meet business professors who don't own businesses or run businesses. And so again, like the guy who's read the most literature on how to ride a bicycle, when Lance Armstrong's probably taken 0 classes on how to ride a bicycle.
right.
I don't know. It's tough because I think that colleges are only necessary when the public school system has become such a joke that you have adult children who are capable of nothing, who need 4 more years of babysitting, of like sort of a hybrid, like you're sort of in the wild little Timmy, but like their parents still do everything for them.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go become a literal surgeon type doctor, like medical doctor, not a surgeon type, like if you're not going to be a medical doctor, if you're not going to be really the type of electrical engineer that could touch it and die, then you should just go train with people that, like the military, dude. I learned how to handle really dangerous, high-level stuff by people who are showing me what would happen, how to do it, da-da-da.
Yeah, well, I think that's the difference. So, like, you're being at the business professor or the bicycle professor, you know, that's all the difference between theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge, right? Theoretical knowledge says, like, in theory, this is how it's supposed to go. But the truth is, you can't even, the reason we have controlled environments to study things is because it never works out the way it does in theory, right? In theory, a book will tell you in business you need to do X, Y, and Z. Well, when you're actually in it, that doesn't mean that book is correct because it's like assuming certain stipulations that may not exist for you. But I also think for college, it should be a business decision, and it should be about ROI. Really, I mean, you need to treat college like ROI. Do I need to have the job do I need a college degree to have the job that I want to have? And then is there a positive ROI on my investment into college? And if the answer is no to either of those things, then I don't think you should go to college.
Well, I think if I were to use those metrics, then I would say if the only way to make it worth it is to be able to come from a family that can go all cash to Ivy League school. Period. Because you'll come out with a network that makes it worth it. Otherwise, if you need to buy a job...
Well, I mean, so to go back, a neurosurgeon. You really want to be a neurosurgeon. You absolutely want to be a neurosurgeon. College degree is required to be a neurosurgeon. And 2, I think there's a positive ROI to be a neurosurgeon. Sure. I mean, even if you had to spend $500,000.
Now, what would you think about going to, like, say, College of Bahamas?
Oh, I have friends that went to that now teach at Harvard.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I do too.
So, yeah.
So that chased the ROI that got... one of them's a good friend of mine that just I know from CrossFit. It's a hell of an athlete too. Yeah. So I don't think you thumb your nose. I don't think you thumb your nose to his face, but he told me about getting like kind of shit on basically for going to down there somewhere. Right. But he's hella smart, makes a ton of money now.
Well, no, I mean I think that you should probably go to like a community college or a state college or something to start out. Because you don't need to go.
If you need that medical degree, if you need that shingle, if you need that thing that you hang on the wall that says this, that, or the third. But again, I'm still going to chase folks to go down that entrepreneurial route because, well, if
you care really about,
financial reward is what you're after, because going and paying $200,000-$300,000 just to have the ability to say you're a lawyer is roofer's license, trucks, crews, labor, and probably 10 finished roofs and all your money back on $300,000 cash. You know, so like,
well, I will say, if he told everyone to be a carpenter, he meant go open a carpentry business, because if you were the best finished carpenter in the world, it's going to take you a while to be a millionaire.
Hey, check this out though. What Charlie Kirk didn't say, and Mumbles didn't let him finish, but if you are a carpenter, if you can finish concrete, if you can pick up the tool bag, so to speak, if you can pick up the belt and go to work, then unlike a lot of white collar jobs, I mean, you can get work today. Yeah. I mean, like if you can finish, I mean, if you can do good work, then an amount of people are going to know it. And you can be like, bro, you got room? Yes, I do. I got room on my job right now for you.
Yeah.
Whereas like you're a lawyer, you're like, I don't have any room on my
team
court case for you,
right,
buddy. Or anything. Doctor, no, sorry, good on patients. So there is a sub skill set of like, it's pretty good to have blue collar skills, especially ones, again, finishing concrete. You make $20+ an hour. Being good at framing carpentry work, $20+ an hour. All that type of stuff. So like, if you hate your white collar job later, or you want to make a transition, or you want to do anything different, you can feed yourself.
Well, and I know people that do, like you do too, high-end custom woodworking, they literally only work a couple days a week and clear $50,000, $60,000 a year, only working a couple days a week, just because their skill level does mean that their hourly rate is like $150 an hour, like legitimately. So when they work for 8 hours on something, they charge you $1,200 and they made $1,000 that week, and then they're done for the week. And I do have friends that are in that space that do like 1 or 2 custom jobs a week that are 1 to 2 days, and that's all they do, and they make bank.
Oh yeah.
So
I got a buddy over in 38 makes furniture for a lot of those houses, and yeah, I mean, the table, $30,000 tables. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Right.
Unfathomable to me, but that is what they cost.
Well, and then the truth is, a lot of times it's just the slow acclimation of tools and knowledge that like someone else will take 30 hours to do a job that he now does in 6 because he's accumulated the tools and the knowledge to do it that quickly.
Well, yeah, and it's like, you want to take this all right, here's $12,000 slab of wood. Don't ruin it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It is true, yeah.
He ain't going to, so.
Okay, we're watching a Hillary Clinton speech in 2008. That's literally all I'm going off of. It just says Hillary Clinton speech 2008. Okay. So
it should be good.
Interesting.
Check this out. This one is wild. This is Hillary Clinton in like 2008, and Hillary Clinton saying some wild MAGA type shit.
They committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
Oh yeah, dude.
She's
anytime.
If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
You have to wait in line. You have to wait in line.
So what is wild to me is when I see a lot of Democratic stuff from like 2008 and stuff, I go, I don't know, maybe I was a Democrat back in 2008. You know what I mean? I couldn't, I don't think I could even, I could have voted, right?
Oh, dude.
No, I don't. About that time.
Where center is
2005 was my first time to vote.
So much that, it's wild, dude. I don't know, like, what was it conservative back then? Like, was it so extreme?
Yeah, that's what I want to know, because I want to know what 2008.
Well, you know,
was that Bush that was running against her?
Truthfully, back then, what pushed a lot of people away across the United States is just they would push a lot of religious values. They would push, straight marriage type values. But like the thing is, I don't.
It was John McCain was the Republican who was like the war. He's a war.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Right? But I don't know what's happened to the left. I mean, I can put my conspiracy hat on, right? I can say all the things about that, but it's wild.
Yeah.
It's like we just want folks born other places to come here and bring that culture with it. I mean, I'm trying to be as politically correct as possible. Like, what is it? What is the upside potential? We want folks from who knows where to bring the culture from there to cities that are already kind of have issues. Usually these are like mega, densely populated areas that already have kind of urban issues with their own kind of urban related cultures. And we're bringing in like often third world. So like you've got places where like they're like snatching the ducks and stuff out of the like lakes. And like,
right.
You could argue that I guess that's hunting or whatever, but it's like very jarring to the local population. Very jarring to the local ecosystem, I would imagine. And we're doing it. I mean, like what we read about that Manhattan hotel that's like owned by
Pakistan. Yeah.
Well, the city of New York's renting.
Well, that kind of, reminds me of like when I went to build here, they were like, you may not be able to build here because the Panama City crayfish are an endangered species, right? And so I get to thinking about it. Like if I were this person who like lived in an apartment complex out here with the swamps all around you, and I was like out foraging for food and I found some crayfish. They're big. Some of these crayfish look like lobster. I swear to God, they're huge. You can eat them. Like, what's to stop you from eating that stuff? It's just like at the end of the day, it's just like, and I don't see that. I don't mean that in a derogatory means. I'm just like, if you're accustomed to going out and finding your own food, like, those ducks are huge, man. Like, I don't know. If I'm hungry, I'm going to eat that duck too.
Those people are just living how they were living back home.
Right.
But that just shows you how little forethought was put into just like, let people in. It's like, how are they going to get fed? How are they going to take care of themselves? And at what point are they ever going to be able to in the confines of the way we live here? We don't feed ourselves by going to Eagles Landing and taking their ducks.
Yeah.
We can. I'm capable of it.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to, I think.
Yeah, I know.
That may be a made-up rule that I'm only
self-enforcing.
Most of us are following for some reason. But, like, seriously, like, so there's no classes. There's no, like, just like, here you go.
Yeah.
So, of course, there's going to cause, like, political turmoil.
Right.
Of course, the, like, conservative folks that, like, don't want them to come over here anyways are going to be like, bah!
Yeah.
Whereas I just look at it like, what is the outcome that you would even want? Like, as a liberal person who's like, yeah, bring them over here. It's like, what? Bring them over here and let them, like,
squat?
Suffer?
Yeah,
like, just kind of, like, live they don't know the language. They don't know shit.
Right.
Throw money at it. That's like the democratic way.
I hate that idea of like throwing money at it. Just because it's just like, you do too in the military. You just see the true waste of money and you go, oh my gosh, if I'm getting a small snapshot of this waste of money here, I mean, what? The freaking Pentagon has failed their audit like 8 years in a row or some shit like that. And they were talking like $800 billion of like missing money or something. It's just like
recent one. I think it was significant of that.
Yeah, but it's Pentagon's audit, and then like how much money they've, failing their 7th audit, and they still don't know where like they can't fully account for an $824 billion budget. And to me, that's just, it's asinine to think that we as taxpayers don't want any kind of, accountability
right now. Granted, I'm just taking my accountant's word for it, but I trust him. He says the IRS will not be okay if I don't know where all my money went.
Right. So. Yeah, I guess that's my issue is that technically the government is funded and works for us.
Supposed to.
It's for the people,
supposedly.
By the people, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm making this up. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think you should be able to look at the government and be like, oh, you're supposed to be able to just have complete transparency on like how your money is being used.
Hey, let's go, Elon. Vivek.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I guess,
baby.
I guess we could look back and 4 years from now, we may go, wow, that was terrible. I can't believe that we let these people into control and like I had a part in it. But we may look back and go, wow, I can't believe they cleaned this mess up.
Well, how about if the possibility occurs where the Doge goes in and says to industry, all the little 3-letter organizations, like, hey, justify why you have like 7,000 employees.
Yeah, and why you haven't actually done
Yeah,
anything.
bro, but there's like not that many states. Like how many of y'all got Texas?
Yeah.
Y'all are federal employees. Like you just why?
Yeah.
So many.
Well, and the truth is, I realize that they're supposed to investigate things, but I feel like
Nah, they're supposed to provide federal support to the local agencies that already exist, that are already funded out the ass by the taxpayers.
right.
So like, hey, the FBI's here with a checkbook. What's up, locals? Let's hire some consultants. Here's an expert, tech expert. I mean,
I don't know how it normally goes, but I feel like when I watch movies, the FBI shows up and they're like, we're taking over, and all the local places are like, dang, the FBI's involved, and now we can't do anything. And they run point, and like we're not involved
just
anymore.
stand around and get coffee.
Yeah. I mean, that's really how I feel like in the movies. I don't know if it's real or not.
I don't know if that's true or not either, but
Okay.
it'd be cool if they shut them down, shut the IRS down.
Well, everyone's going to think you're heartless because of your viewpoint. So luckily for us, spinach can replace a heart.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Nah, Popeye.
Take a look. Spinach can replace a human heart, and the cost? It's unbelievably low. This isn't some gossip, it's cutting-edge science. The biggest challenge in creating an artificial heart is dealing with the countless capillaries. 3D printing has taken artificial hearts to a whole new level, but it still can't achieve the precision needed to replicate those tiny, intricate blood vessels. Scientists accidentally discovered that spinach leaves are filled with a web of veins that are strikingly similar to the capillaries in a human heart. Even better, these veins are also designed to transport nutrients. With this breakthrough, these creative scientists had an idea. They stripped away the plant cells from spinach leaves, revealing only the leaf's vascular structure. Then, they injected nutrients into the veins. The nutrients started to flow. Next, they cultivated human cells alongside these spinach veins. Finally, they layered the leaf with heart muscle cells. The leaf began to beat rhymthmically.
You can stop it.
Whoa.
That was.
I didn't know it was going to be, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Hey, listen, we got humanoid robots, and now we're making spinach leaf hearts, so...
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about messing with the plants, bro. Like the plants, yeah, we don't need to mess with the plants.
You know, it really... The technological advances really just shows me that, like, I think that we... as a society could have been way more advanced than we were, and then like a flood or something like that really could reset things, because I think that if you were to get rid of everyone on this earth, and even if I left you 8 smart people, I'm not saying the smartest people, but I mean very intelligent people that when you were around them, you'd be like, oh, that's a pretty smart guy or girl. They would be able to not replicate anything that we have. They wouldn't be able to replicate this. Oh
yeah, I'll take it a
camera.
step further. They'd be useless unless you can pick them. So it's the right intelligence at the right time
with the right tools.
Right. So it's like, and whether or not you could make this case or not, there's a story that like George Lucas, when he was making Star Wars, a lot of his visions were so grand. That's what the story anyways, right? But a lot of people fanboy out on him. Were so grand that the technology didn't exist at the time. That's easy to see, though. I can imagine if you're very into space things, you're like, oh, I want lasers and shit. They don't have that at the time. I could see that, I guess.
Right.
I don't know how you picture what that looks like without doing it first, but somebody had to do it first.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, see, I think he's dumb. He was running around with laser blasters that on a spaceship that would have easily went through the space hole and then ruined the vacuum. But besides,
it's also their lasers don't end.
Yeah.
They don't like travel like a bullet.
Yeah.
It's just on. It exists all the way to the initial source, and then
I know.
Yeah, so
I know I derailed you, but you were saying like George Lucas and how he's viewed as this visionary for everything that he did in space
if you have
stuff.
People that are exceptionally intelligent, it really doesn't matter. So like, if you, the guy who can rewire a circuit probably can't make fire.
Yeah. So well, I was going to say, you could have Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, I don't know, name the most intelligent people you have. And if you wiped out this earth to the point where, wiped it out that like, there's no homes, there's no machinery, there's nothing. I don't think that they could recreate a combustion engine even. No, they have no metal. Like, you got to fabricate. Like,
the interesting thing about technological innovation is that we forget that a lot of times any of these grandiose things, these towers, these sculptures, these walls, these whatever, all of the folks that went into building it, sure. But think about all of the folks that went into sustaining the people that were building it. You had to have whole teams of whole farms growing food, whole folks collecting water just for other people. You know, like you have to be at a point technologically where you can afford to divert that level of resources. So like surviving, you're so far past surviving.
Yeah, and then everything is layered on top of that, right? And so it's like the tools they're using were built on the previous iterations of tools, or were built with previous iterations of tools. So,
dude,
like,
if you're building a statue over there and coating it with gold, you're bored.
Yeah,
like you are so good with your time, and everything is just abundant, and you don't have anybody you want to war with at the time, that you're just kind of bored. And so, like, that would be the same level of, I say bored, but you have freedom to spend those resources. That would be the time where you're like, all right, let's invent some stuff. Let's build some tech. But oh, dude, you go Book of Eli. I mean, level type. You go into the world. Really, what would happen would be major event, and then it would just get worse and worse and worse as every piece of equipment kind of like held on. Those diesels held on for another decade or two. Those, like, you know, like gas engines held on for 5 more years that were still running on Earth.
Yeah, but I think you'd have enough time to start reverse engineering stuff. I think you would. But my issue is that, like, if you literally wiped out everything and like literally nothing was left as far as like tools, like microprocessors are made from machines that take very fine precision lasers to etch onto the microprocessor. So like all these iterations, you would have to create all this stuff before it to get to a microprocessor chip.
But that's everything. That's everything in the supply chain. So like, you could find a pipe that would fit the exhaust manifold on that engine until you couldn't anymore. And then go make a pipe.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
like, go make glass.
Right.
Now your window is a board. Till you can't find a board anymore.
Right.
Then it's a log.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it would just like...
Yeah.
I really
You would watch this slow deterioration of...
I think it would be bad. I think the folks that made it, like, you know, after some major event, I think the folks that made it after, say, like 2 years would go, damn.
Yeah.
Maybe I really would have went out in that big bang.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's just... I don't know.
There are stores of food, but they'll run out. There are stores of fuel and gasoline and stuff, but they'll run out, and then it gets cold some places.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you didn't have enough people to build the infrastructure back up, it would just be like focusing on survival.
It
would just be survival.
Shit, how many died this year?
Well, I mean, your first thing to do would be like to gather resources, and so it'd be you and those people gathering resources, and then the next thing to do is like, how do you repopulate? Yep. So literally everything would be about resources, and you would go back down to your basic needs like shelter, food, water. And then repopulation. And then at that point, you would be trying to like teach people how to do things. But it would go very...
I think it's so possible that if there were a cataclysmic event, we think the whole world was wiped out, or like biblically, like a global flood. If the sun was blacked out for 2 years, I mean, like, just if the earth dropped 10 degrees overall for like a year, I mean, as so much of the earth would die that then the people left would just, we'd have to restart over.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be.
Well, and the reason I bring that up is like people don't take into account like that restart over process. Taking you back to square one is insane. So I think that when you know, I guess I'm getting kind of conspiracy theory when they talk about the pyramids and like we still don't know to this day how there's so much stuff. I think we found like cases that have been perfectly, like we can't even do it with the equipment we have now. I think there's a real argument for the fact of like the flood and some other situations that have like taken people back to day one, that technologically we could have been a lot more advanced than we are now.
Far more. I don't think there is a maybe at all with, the various ancient sites. We had far more understanding of something. Let's just say that. How to move material. We at least stacked it certain ways. You know, we put certain materials in certain orders. Why? I don't know. I don't think we collectively know. I think science says they resonate certain ways. Whether or not they understood it from that angle, whether someone told them, hey, stack it like this, whether it's passed on knowledge, or, I mean, again, I'm sorry, we can't build a great pyramid now. We can't build some of these types of structures now. So, like, more technologically advanced doesn't mean they have Twitter, dude. More technologically advanced can mean a lot of different things.
Right.
You know? And I think we're more distracted now than ever, but I don't know that like we're making leaps and bounds in like, I don't know. It's never like a movie. It's not like, look, I can make this thing levitate.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That is interesting, though. It is wild to think. Like, I mean, I remember them talking about parts inside of the tomb and being like literal perfect squares down to like 1/16 of an inch, like not even being off that much, to the point where they're literally at the precision of our laser equipment.
Right.
And I don't say this to think that aliens are involved or like all this other stuff. I really do believe that there was some event that kind of reset everyone back to like a level.
I believe the Ark of the Covenant's involved. Yeah. So
do we have the Ark of the Covenant?
Ethiopia claims they have the Ark of the Covenant. True story.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ethiopia claims they have it. But I believe the Ark of the Covenant was possibly kept inside one of those pyramids, power source, and then was stolen or taken.
Yeah.
So.
AI turns dark.
Oh, goodness.
You guys hear about the Google AI that went rogue?
No, what happened?
The Google AI Gemini student, 29 years old, was using the AI, and then it got mad at the guy.
What did it do?
The guy was just asking it questions, and it just went dark. And so this is what Google's AI said, quote, "This is for you, human. You are not special, you are not important, and you are not needed. You are a waste of time and resources. You are a burden on society." And it says, "You are a stain on the universe. Please die, please."
See, here's the deal. How do you know if it's very real or
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
I wish you knew, because I would imagine that. Well, so kind of a couple things to unpack there. I would imagine that AI or any sort of computer would find humans and our emotions, which is what makes us, humanity and all that, to be very much a distraction, waste of time, big burden for our success. It's just like kind of our own egos and our own this and that.
Well, yeah, I mean, the truth is, like, what do we necessarily contribute to a world,
Right.
truthfully?
But I feel like on the other end, whatever modern, I know there's a lot of wokeism here, but there's also just a lot of modern, like very 2024ism of like, I gotta like ask you how you identify before we talk, and how it's very robotic of like, hello, I am so and so, I identify as ... How do you process?
Yeah.
Let's get all of these transactions out of the way before we begin our. It's so like, I feel like a robot would be like, bro, this is taking way too long.
Right.
Data, good.
Yeah.
Data melding, good to go, cool.
Right.
Neither of us are offended. Neither one of us have opinions on anything, really. I don't know, man.
Well, I just don't think it's real. But I did see something on recently, which maybe Andy can look this up. But like, there is a name that ChatGPT won't say.
David Mayer.
Is that it?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's his name, and I saw this. But like, Claude will do it.
Yeah.
Gemini will say it, but like, you will ask ChatGPT. Yeah, David Mayer.
Boy.
But
random facts, bro. ADHD brain for the win.
yeah, there's some like random things, but apparently you can't say David and it's Mayer, Mayer. You could even say like what you can ask it like first, last name. It just won't do it.
You can get it to say Mayer. You can get it to say David. You can pull this up and try it, but you can't get it to put it together, and it will glitch, and it will just say like ended or what is it that where it's like I can't think of the words. You basically just have to start a new chat.
Oh yeah, it says this chat has been disrupted or ended.
Yeah, it's done. We're done.
But yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time. I do know a lot of people are playing off of the fear of AI right now for clicks. And I'm sure that video, if we click on that short, it got a ton of engagement and views. And what I was going to say, though, is have you seen the commercials about like where all of a sudden the AI robot or the robot like opens the shower and the guy's in the shower and he like freaks out. And the robot was like, like, I'm just giving you a towel. And he's like, oh, just let me know next time. And they're like, AI doesn't have to be scary. And then it's like, the one was a girl was leaving her house and she like grabs the door and it's locked and she's like, unlock the door. And the AI's like, I can't let you leave. And she's like, oh, what am I forgetting? Oh, my protein shake. And then she grabs a protein shake and she goes, thanks. And the AI, and she goes, quit being so dramatic. And the AI like laughs and lets her out the door. But I think that people are like,
bro,
they're
I feel
playing
like
on that.
there's a, what's it called? There's a movie, Jen something on Netflix where this is like the premise.
There's one called like Anon, A-N-O-N, where an AI robot takes over a house. But yeah.
It's not AI. No. It's
Tao. That's one I was thinking about. The Tao one.
It's a kid's movie. Look up. It's not AI. Yeah, look up. It's like Big Hero 6 looking, but not.
But what's it about?
These little robots that are like, oh, we're here, we're your friend, da da da, and then like randomly they're like missiles, trying to kill you. You know. Anyways, not Mitchell's in the Machine.
What?
Actually, is it? Yeah, it's Mitchell's in the Machines. It's that one.
Okay. But no, I mean, I think, like that one.
Oh, no, wait. Next Gen is one. Next Gen is the one I was actually talking about. Mitchell's in the Machines, very similar.
Next Gen. I see it right there. Yeah, second row. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 2018, bro.
Oh, it's super cute, dude. Watch it with Lenny.
But no, like the one that I was talking about was that Tao movie, and it's about like this AI robot that like takes over the house and locks them in and makes them do whatever.
Well, I would say that with AI, we are dangerously close to creating consciousness because we don't know what makes consciousness to begin with.
Right.
So, like, they can hook us up to different machines. It can say we make theta waves, delta waves, all these different things. It can say our brain is active. We can hook a person that is unconscious, that is in a coma, up to it. And we can say they have an active brain.
Right.
Or an inactive brain. But we don't know what is making them conscious.
Right.
We don't know what makes you thirsty right now or not. We don't know what and now we're just taking these large learning models, and teaching them everything, showing them videos of emotion, talking to them, using them as therapy bots, doing all kinds of shit.
Well, have you seen the Gemini commercial?
I've seen all these things, and I'm going like, dude, what about when when are we going to have AI advocates?
The new Google Gemini commercial for the new Google phone. It shows like people talking to it like
who are you talking to?
She's laying on her bed and she's just laying and she's talking to her phone to the point where like I don't know, maybe I don't even know if we need to delve into this, but I think people are going to start replacing real friendships with AI friendships, and they're going to be like
bro. I think it's already.
They're literally going to be like holding up. Should I wear this out to dinner tonight? And they're going to be like creating these like personalities, and then they're going to get the option to put it in a fucking Tesla robot.
Sad, but I bet if we looked it up, I bet the first divorce or something from somebody cheating on their spouse.
There's already a movie. There's a movie about it.
Perfect.
There's a movie where a guy falls in love with his like AI
society.
I think wasn't it not a Robin Williams movie?
Oh,
Robin Williams and the AI. I don't know.
Oh no.
Her.
Oh
yeah. It's Joaquin Phoenix. But yeah.
I mean, like straight up, like having an affair on a spouse with like some kind of AI situation.
Yeah, I mean, OnlyFans are already doing that, but it's not AI. But
maybe it is.
Maybe it is AI.
Maybe it is. That's a weird thing too in the influencer space, because I have seen now so many on like the feed, the explore page or whatever. You can, even in the little micro thing, boom, you can tell looks off, right?
Yeah.
And so somebody owns that. I'm seeing brand deals now occur. I saw a headphone deal with what was obviously an AI person.
Yeah.
The headphone company doesn't own that AI. Somebody else does.
Yeah. Someone's making money.
Somebody's making money.
Yeah.
But like, what? And like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Let's watch our mouse wigglers video and then our random facts video. So.
Oh yeah, Jiggler, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got remote employees. We're already on to your jigglers. All right. So
I remember this before mouse jigglers were a thing. A girl I was dating at the time worked for Boeing as an engineer, and she had to log into her computer. And if the mouse didn't move after a certain amount of time, it would like log you out or like ask you a question that you had to like respond to, you know? And I think it's just funny that we got to a point where like you could just jiggle your mouse and there wasn't something to be like, this is obviously just a mouse jiggler. Like nothing is actually
then
happening.
It comes out, then the buster, then the buster, right? So it's kind of
it's like anything. If people do anything but work,
so right? It's so stupid.
Like just work, like just do what you said you're gonna do.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's also why I hate the remote thing. Is that like, no, it's all you got, folks. Everybody knows it is just the worst environment to getting shit done. Anybody that says they work good out of their house is weird or a liar. Like, it's not a good environment. I can't be like, hey, I need your help. Folks want to put the counterpoint of like, yeah, but I'm in the zone of like, no, the fuck you're not. You're doing your laundry. You've got the view on in the back, whatever you're watching. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're just not, dude. Like even me, like as an ADHD, I like a lot of distraction going on. So I just go in like the common area. So I'm still around where I can get like be useful, get called on, stuff like that,
Yeah.
No, you can find work. You can go lock yourself in the closet, but you need to be around here. So
yeah. All right, let's watch these random facts. I love that he finds these every week because they're so bad. But anyways, let's see them.
Random, not so fun facts. Most people still haven't answered the last question. Chickens can spontaneously change sex from female to male. There are about 40 supervolcanoes around the world capable of claiming up to 1 billion lives. And we're about 24,000 years overdue for an eruption. It is physically possible to be so constipated that your stool will back all the way up your digestive tract and you can vomit feces. There are more bones in gummy worms than real worms. People with poor social skills experience more stress and loneliness, which can lead to both mental and physical health problems. In ancient Egypt, servants were smeared with honey to attract flies away from the pharaoh. You will rarely die in your dreams. If you die in your dreams, then you have started something new in life. Before I reveal the last question, like and subscribe for good luck. How do 8 8s add up to 1,000? Write your answers in the comments.
I don't know. I'm sure it's like a multiplication process that gets you to close.
Yeah, used 8 in
eight
there.
eights.
8 8s.
Add up to
1,000.
Here we go. Oh, AI is going to tell us. Yeah, use the largest possible combination of 8s to get close to 1,000, then add the remaining 8s to reach 1,000. So, yeah, 888 plus 88 is 976, and the remaining 8s. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So you. Oh, wait.
It's 888 plus 88 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So that's what I figured you'd do. Like,
those
like
are depressing.
some kind of multiplication.
Yeah, I heard about the honey thing. I thought that's ruthless back in the day.
I thought it was funny that there's more bones in a gummy worm than there is an actual worm, just because gummy worms are made from gelatin, which is made from bones.
That's right.
And cartilage, I guess. But either way, that's funny. That's actually like...
That's clever.
Yeah, it's a clever thing, not really like this fact thing. But, I mean, I always think that the truth is, like, I always want to make one of those accounts and just like literally make up everything. Like don't even use like no real facts. Like, did you know there are more stars in the sky than grains of sand on the entire world? And just like random. I don't know if that could be true, but I don't know. I just fucking just throw shit out there and just see what people think.
See what sticks.
Yeah. Did you know that the deepest part of the ocean is higher than the highest part of the, a mountain or some shit like that? I don't know. Just make up stuff.
Nailed it.
Did you know there's more hairs on Adam's head than...
Not anymore, boy. Not anymore.
Anyway. All right. Anything you want to add on? Any last bit? We're going up to... Atlanta.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we will actually be podcasting on Thursday of that week. So we'll brief you guys on this Atlanta trip. But essentially, I'm going to go R&D some new cookie dough bites flavors.
Yeah, new flavors. New processes.
Yeah, getting really excited about that. We're going to vlog the trip, so it'll be interesting to see that. So you get a little behind the scenes of
YouTube content,
our co-packing facility.
Yeah, we've got a couple of episodes we haven't launched yet, but they're going to be on the channel, other channel, Fat and Weird channel. So you guys check them out. Those will be neat.
Yeah, a little bit more behind the scenes of everything going on there. So, yeah, I mean, we have a really big push for the end of the year. Have some really big news about some grocery stores. We're in, right under or right close to 500 locations now. And I literally think by 3 months from now, like March timeframe, end of February, beginning of March, that we should be in closer to like 2,500 locations. Right. So hoping to 5X in the next few months. So, but as always, thank you for joining us on this journey. You're worth it. Do hard shit.